Hi, this is Lance Hood with ArcFranchising.com, and today I want to introduce you to StormGuard. StormGuard is a full-time executive franchise model that does exterior restoration for homes and businesses. Our guest speaker is David Hines. He's a representative for StormGuard. David, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Lance. I'm happy to be here.
David, what brought you to working with StormGuard?
So the company that I work for is called Rhino 7, and we specialize in franchise sales and development. And when we were first introduced to StormGuard, we were very intrigued just because we had never really kind of heard about or known about a business that actually did what StormGuard does. So it was a very, very niche business, but the opportunity and the industry was one that is very strong, and there's definitely a need for it. So we realized that StormGuard actually had a superior business model, and they had a lot of experience, and it was a very strong business model throughout. So we made the decision to partner with them and actually help them to expand their franchising.
Mm-hmm. From your experience, why do most people go into franchising?
I would say that the biggest factor is that people, there's a lot less risk with someone owning a franchise than there is with them trying to start their own business. If they try to start their own business, they'd have to go through all the ups and downs, and the statistics show that the success rate of new startup businesses is actually quite low. So with the franchise, this is a business that has someone that's already gone through the ups and downs, and they've actually established a business model that other people can follow to be successful. So I think the biggest thing is that there's much less of a risk factor with joining a franchisor, and it's going to be a proven business model.
Mm-hmm. So why should people consider the home improvement industry?
So with home improvement, it's definitely one that is always going to be there. And what StormGuard does, so they actually focus on exterior restoration for homes and businesses. And storms are always going to happen, regardless of what the economy is doing. The U.S. Continues to be struck by natural disasters, and insurance companies have actually paid out quite billions and billions of dollars for thunderstorm damage alone. So there's always going to be a need for that, and storms will never go away. So there's always going to be a need for a company like StormGuard.
Mm-hmm. So what exactly does StormGuard do, and what makes it unique?
Yes, so StormGuard, they focus on exterior insurance restoration for both homes and businesses. So they actually will work with homeowners and businesses they work with their insurance companies to help them repair any type of damage that was caused by a storm on the outside of a house. So they work with roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and painting. There's a sales team that's part of the business, and they will actually go out to homeowners and offer them a free inspection where they're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes looking for storm damage. And when they find that damage, they'll sit down with the homeowner and call their insurance company to file a claim. And then if the insurance company does approve the claim, they actually walk the homeowner throughout the entire process as far as how the insurance company is going to work with them and take them through the step-by-step process. And then there's a production team that actually goes in and will subcontractors will actually be the ones performing the labor and doing the actual work. So StormGuard is basically going to be helping homeowners to repair any type of damage that was done by a storm while working with their insurance company.
Mm-hmm. So the nice thing is you're not having to go out and do cold calls and sales not knowing, because these are people who actually have storm damage. And you said you guys have a unique way of going right to the areas where there is storm damage.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so StormGuard actually has weather tracking software, and that allows them to look at any storm that's come through an area and they can see for any particular storm where the highest winds were, or if it was a hailstorm, where the largest hail was, and that lets them focus on the specific areas within their territory that were hardest hit by that storm. So they always have a target area to focus on for each particular storm that's come through. So in addition to working those past storms, they can also work any current storms that come through, and that really makes the business very consistent. There's never going to be any waiting around time because they can always go back and work the damage that was caused by those past storms.
Right. So you have an action plan to follow. I like that. And these seem to be very high dollar transactions, but yet they're paid by insurance, not the actual customer. Was the customer paying their deductible, right? That's it?
Yes, that's correct. So whenever an insurance company does approve a claim, the homeowner is going to pay their insurance deductible, and then the insurance company will cover the rest of the cost to repair or replace whatever part of the outside of the home that was damaged.
Mm-hmm. So how big is the need for this? Like, how much is spent in the U.S. or whatever on this type of service?
Yeah, so we actually had that the insurance companies paid out more than $14 billion recently for thunderstorm damage alone, and that was for a full year. So there's definitely a humongous need for this because most people don't realize that even a thunderstorm that has some high winds is going to be able to cause a lot of damage, but they necessarily don't know the damage because people don't actually go and look at their roof after a storm. So StormGuard, kind of fills that need for them, and people are very open to having them look for damage, especially if it's there's a chance that it can be approved and paid for by their insurance company.
I've had a service like this come through, and we had a freak hailstorm here, and we had baseball-sized hail hit the roof, and we ended up, it was like a $20,000 job, and then it demolished our cars. but it was like, that was like a big deal, and that wasn't even like gutter and paint. That was just the roof. So I could see that it's useful, it's needed, it's constant, right where to go, and it's a high-ticket item. And you're not having to do the labor. You hire it out through contractors that are experienced and capable, right?
Yes, there's going to be a production manager is part of the StormGuard team, and what they're going to do is manage all of the current jobs going on, and they do manage those subcontractors. So all the subcontractors will be doing the labor, and yes, they're going to be independent contractors that are not going to be on the franchisee's payroll.
Because I can see some people going, well, I don't know if I want to do roof work or anything, but that's not really what you're looking for. You're really looking for executives, managers, people who can watch the book, maybe do a little bit of sales and marketing, or what are the roles that people are responsible for?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So first and foremost, we are looking for someone that is ready to do this full time. Our franchisees are working every day in the business, spending about 40 to 50 hours a week. And what they're mainly doing is managing the employees and the salespeople. So they're going to develop a team and then manage those managers. So they're acting more as a CEO of the business. And we like to say that our owners work on the business, not in it. So they're actually not going out there giving the inspection. So they're going to be more operating as a CEO role, just managing that team of managers that are out there implementing the business.
Mm-hmm.
We look for someone who has good management skills and also a driver-type personality. Most of our franchisees have actually come from corporate America where they were in management roles, and a lot of them are used to managing a team and keeping that team motivated, and those are skills that are going to transfer over and be very useful to them as a StormGuard franchisee.
What are some of the typical questions that people have when they're looking at franchising with StormGuard?
Yeah, so a lot of people will say that roofing, siding, windows, and gutters doesn't sound too sexy. And what we say to that is that what someone was looking for is that they're looking to grow and scale a business. And that's exactly what StormGuard does. It's a very, very profitable business. and it's going to be pretty easy to learn once they get the hang of it. So basically, the sexiness comes from the economics of the business and just how much someone can earn from actually being a StormGuard franchisee.
What are all the ways that the franchisees can make money?
Yeah, so the main way they're making money is, of course, going out there and actually doing jobs. They can do roofing jobs, siding, windows, gutters, and painting. And that's all the ways that they actually work with insurance companies to do the exterior restoration. But in addition, they can also do non-insurance restoration and general construction work. An example of that would be if they help someone to get a new roof that was damaged by a storm, and they work with that person's insurance company, but down the line, that same homeowner, they might need to have their siding or windows replaced from general wear and tear. That would be a job that StormGuard can come and do and replace their siding, and that would be an example of a non-insurance job. And then in addition to working with the homeowners, the franchisees are also able to work with businesses that are in their territory. So that can be any office building, office park. An example of a bigger job would be working with an apartment complex. So there are a couple ways, a couple different revenue streams that they have.
Mm-hmm. And what's the ramp-up time?
Yeah, so I'd say the ramp-up time can be fairly quick. A lot of our franchisees are actually making money in their very first year. And what's actually shown in the item 19 of the FDD is that we have some franchisees making a net income of $700,000. So this has the potential to be a very, very high income earning business. And the average franchisee is actually showing the average franchisee that's been open between 1 and 2 years is showing a net income of $179,000. So this is a very quick ramp up, and I'd say part of that is because the average job is going to be about $10,000 to $12,000. So these are big ticket jobs, and they can add up very quickly.
I just want to reiterate that you said that the average person on the item 19 makes about $100,000 per year?
Yes. So the average franchisee that's actually been open for 1 to 2 years is going to show a net income of $179,000.
But you have some people that are making $750,000?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so we do have some
Wow.
franchisees that's also shown in item 19, and they're actually making a net income of $700,000.
That's incredible. Do you have any stories about people who've opened up a StormGuard and their kind of ramp up time and their experience?
Yes, I mean I'd say that with a couple of the franchisees, they were able to ramp up much, pretty quicker and faster than the norm. So I mean they were actually able to make a very good income in their very first year. It actually reached six digits, so they're making $100,000 in their very first year of business. So that just kind of shows that if you get the right person, the right fit as far as the franchisee goes, they can be very successful very quickly.
It looks like this could be a great opportunity for the right person. And I just want to say, if you're listening right now and you're genuinely committed to getting a franchise, let's make sure that you get the right one. I'd like to talk to you possibly about StormGuard or any other franchise. There's no charge for my services. You can reach me at 888-627-2776 or schedule time to speak at speakwithlance.com.
Yes, and I would just like to add that I do highly recommend that you contact Lance with any questions that you may have about StormGuard or any other franchise. Franchising can be very profitable, but you need a guide to actually help you make the best decision. And I highly recommend Lance Hood. He's very professional, he's very knowledgeable, and he will definitely steer you in the right direction and take the time to actually understand what you're looking for, and he'll definitely help you make the right decision.
Thank you, David. Well, if anybody's listening, I'd love to speak with you. Thanks again, and talk to you soon.